For me, it was a really rude early morning wake-up call. It was 4:31 in the morning. I was 20 miles from the epicenter in Simi Valley, and my house and everything in it rocked for about 10 to 20 very long seconds. A bookcase came down and gave me a karate chop across my leg, and once I got up and was able to stabilize, I was off to work. And this is where I went, to the Northridge Meadows apartment complex. The top 2 floors of that building pancaked down on the first, killing 16 people. 3 people survived, and 2 weeks later, after that terrible day, I talked with 2 of them at the hospital, Jerry Prezioso and Steve Langdon, who said that under that rubble, they were screaming for help.
Help. That's what I was trying to say, and I shouted it with all my might.
I was face down, and my face was towards the bed, and I had the dresser right up against my side of my head like this, so my head was like this, and then I had the ceiling on top of my head.
I'm older than Steve, and I kept telling him to hang on.
All I could keep thinking was I was going to make it, or else I wouldn't be alive at that point.
As you look back at this thing and realize 16 people died on your floor.
Yes. Yes. He rolls the dice, and no one understands how and why he picks his numbers. He doesn't tell us why, that Steve and I are alive. Maybe someday he will.
I want to shake your hand. If some of that positive attitude can rub off.
I hope it rubs off on everybody that was hit by this tragedy.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Take good care of yourself.
That'll be easy.
What an amazing attitude. There was one more thing he told me. He said he survived because he went to the bathroom right before the quake, so he didn't end up being crushed under his bed. Here's how he explained it.
That's faith, I'll tell you. If I didn't have to go to the John, I would have been gone.
Wow. What an amazing explanation. I'm not sure exactly how to follow that, except to say that January 17th, 1994 was a really tough day.
I have a crazy story involving my family. So my great Aunt May was living at the Northridge Meadows apartments in 1993. And she said to our family, I have this weird premonition about earthquakes. I don't want to live in California. I'm scared of earthquakes. She moves. 6 months later, the earthquake, her next door neighbor dies.
Oh my goodness.
And just recently, she just celebrated her 101st birthday.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just that way. Things are just a quirk of luck.
Yeah.
Well, my parents were visiting from Arizona. It didn't make them want to move to California being in a big quake like that.
Well, I wasn't in Selmar, so that was my first big one. But one other thing I remember are the fires. It seems like everywhere you went, there were fires, and some of them small, some of them big, a lot of them because the pipes underground would bust with the earth movement, and then they'd catch an ignition from maybe a pilot light under a furnace or something, and kaboom, you had yourself a fire. And we had a lot of fires here on that day. And one other thing I'll share with you. You know, sometimes things stay with you for a long time. And as I drove down those roads and I saw those fires and I realized just how chaotic that day was, I also realized there were no gas stations open.
Oh, I always keep my tank half full.
That's what I do
always,
now. I always make sure the night before I have gas in my tank. Why? Because of the 1994 earthquake, because who knows whether at 4:31 tomorrow morning it's going to happen again.
I'm always half full.
I remember a lot of those freeways weren't even open, too.
That's right.
That was pancaked.
That's right.
And a reminder, this is very real for us.
Oh, yeah.
Could happen anytime. Thank you, Hal.